Rangers Paradise.
Hello and welcome to the Rangers Journal. My name is Kai Wasson and today we're going to look at 5 bargain strikers Rangers could sign this summer. Yesterday's video we looked at Albion Romani and going by the sounds of it, Rapid Bucharest are looking for around €8 million, a fee which I don't think they'll get for him, but also I don't think Rangers will challenge for that. There's also rumours the likes of Napoli and Villa are interested, and also reports come out from Romania that one club is putting a bid and it's not been Rangers. So I'm not saying that one's quite out of sight. I'd love us to get him in, but I don't think we're going to be spending anywhere close to the €8 million that Rapid Bucharest are wanting. So it'll be interesting to see what he ends up going for. Rangers aren't fully out of the race. There is obviously interested, which was confirmed by Stevie Clifford yesterday. So the interest is there. I don't think Rangers are going to get him, no, so I'm going to look at 5 bargain strikers that Rangers could look to get in instead. So let's get started. So the first player I want to take a look at is Eduardo Guerrero. It's a 24-year-old Panamanian striker. He's 5'11", plays for Zorha Lugansk. Sorry, absolutely butchered that, in Ukraine. Transfer market having valued at 710k. So looking at his key stats, in 21 appearances, 20 from the start, he's got 9 goals and 3 assists. 211 minutes per goal, 16% conversion rate, 0.8 key passes per game, 79% dribble success, foul 1.6 times, win 36% of duels. These stats and the data are all from SofaScore. So SofaScore have his strengths listed as consistency, ball control and anchor play. And you can look at his average rating over the last 12 months of 7.33. So he's had a very good season in Ukraine. Be another Panamanian we could potentially add if the Jose Cordoba deal goes through. He's good at holding the ball up, very consistent, and just seems like a good all-round striker. He's got a bit of physicality about him, got a bit of pace, puts himself about. Just a very interesting striker. Could be available for a bargain price. Obviously, probably be looking at him as a backup striker given the 211 minutes per goal and the 16% conversion rate. It's obviously kind of similar to Dessers, but if you're going to sell Dessers and get his money back, then getting someone like Guerrero in his backup could be a really good deal. It's obviously a risk, but he's only 24 years old. If you're paying anywhere from 1 to 1.5 million for a player that's performed that well this season, then you're probably doing pretty good, and there's a chance you can make profit on it. So I think he's an interesting one to start with. Good player to look at. Obviously, consistency is key, and consistency is one of his strengths. So as a backup striker, I think Eduardo Guerrero could be a good option. The next player is Anel Jovic, 25-year-old Austrian, 6'1", plays for Maribor currently. Transfer market having valued at 620k. So looking at his key stats, in 29 appearances, 24 from the start, he's got 17 goals and 2 assists. A much better rate than Guerrero, 125 minutes per goal, 27% conversion rate, just under 1 key pass per game. A ridiculous 88% dribble success per game, filled just under 1 time, and again wins 36% of duels. Duel numbers could obviously be a bit better, but just need to look at it. The type of player when they come in, it's how they use their body, how they set themselves about, and how they win tackles both on the ground and in the air. So again, SofaScore have his strengths listed as anchor play and ball control. Two things that are obviously really important for a striker at Rangers. You need to be able to hold the ball up and wait for others to come into play at times. You need to be able to control the ball well. And again, just looking at the stats, he's a very well-rounded player. Good, tall, strong, not the quickest, but again, he holds the ball up well, lets others come into play. He's capable of taking on defenders. That kind of player always compare strikers like this to Bojan Miovski that can hold the ball up, can do it on their own, and can also bring others into play. I think he's a brilliant option. Again, he's 25, but those goal scoring numbers, you could bring him in as a starting striker. I mean, the 27% conversion rate in 125 minutes per goal with 17 goals in 29 appearances is brilliant numbers. And then you look at his average rating again over the last 12 months is 7.3. So again, very talented striker, very good player, another cheap option and one I think could be worth looking at. Next player we're going to look at is one that's a bit of a long shot. So Mohamed El-Henni, 23-year-old from Kosovo, 5'11", plays for KF Lapi in the Kosovo League. Transfer market having valued at 540k. His numbers are incredible this season. So in 29 appearances, he's scored 21 goals and got 3 assists. 130 minutes per goal, honestly, absolutely unbelievable 32% conversion rate. 0.7 key passes per game with 62% dribble success, filled 1.3 times, and again, a really low dual success rate. I don't know if these stats are accurate from these kind of lower leagues from SofaScore, but again, it's the stats that they have, and again, they've got weaknesses for Hyseni listed as ground duels. Got his strengths as anchor play. So again, another player that holds the ball up well, brings others into play, but those goal scoring numbers are incredible. 21 and 29 also managing those 3 assists and 32% conversion rate. I just wonder how that would translate to a club like Rangers, where we create so many chances for our strikers. Dessers has obviously missed, I think it was either 26 or 27 missed big chances this season. You wonder if someone like Haiseni coming in with that 32% conversion rate, if he could sustain that, or if it would even out to somewhere around the 16% that Dessers is currently at. It's always a risk for strikers from these leagues, but you want to buy players that are in form. You want to buy players that are coming off hot seasons. He's only 23. Again, there's quite a few players that have came from the Kosovo League. We look at Albion Romani, who spoke about yesterday. It's the league he started in. It's where he's from. Could Hyseni be the next player of that ilk to come from the league to kind of take that step up? I don't think he's a player that Rangers are going to go for. I don't know if he's a player that would be on the radar, but he's one that really caught my attention. A brilliant finisher that holds up the ball well and can do everything inside the box with brilliant positioning. Again, the numbers are great. He's only 23. He could potentially be a cheap deal. It's one I would hope the club would look at. He might not be able to come in and set the world alight right away, but you look at Miovski, who came in from obviously Hungary as well, didn't settle right away, and look at the player he is now. So Hyseni could definitely be that type of player, and it'll be interesting to see where he ends up next. But I think he is, especially for a cheap option as a backup striker, definitely worth looking at. Now, the next player is someone that came in that definitely I don't think would be a backup striker. So, Janino Vieira, 27-year-old Brazilian, is 5'10", currently plays for Karabakh in Azerbaijan. Transfer market having valued at 860k. I don't think you'd be able to get him for anywhere near that, but I still think, given what his output and what he could give, he could still be an absolute bargain. So, key stats: 34 appearances, 23 from the start, 19 goals, 4 assists, 120 minutes per goal. 33% conversion rate, 0.7 key passes per game, 64% dribble success, foul 1.1 times. And again, we look at that low dual win rate again, but we'll just ignore that until any of the players come in and we can actually see what those numbers look like. So, Janino Vieira, if you've not heard of him, he was amazing for Karabakh in the Europa League run that took them to run Bayer Leverkusen very, very close. He also scored in each of the legs against Bayer Leverkusen. I think it ended up being 4-3 in aggregate to Bayer. So Karabakh were very unlucky. They're brilliant run in Europe, and a lot of it was down to Janino Vieira, who also scored 5 goals in the 10 Europa League appearances. So when you look at the size of the club and the size of task that is for the player, it's honestly incredible for the numbers. Again, in 19 goals, 120 minutes per goal, he's just a brilliant all-round striker. Can really do it all. Can hold the ball up well. Can take defenders on. Good finisher inside the box. Decent shooting from range. Just a bit of an all-rounder. He's played really well over there. He's a bit of a hero in Karabakh, as you could imagine from the numbers in the Europa League run and domestic numbers. I think he might be quite hard to prize away from there just because of the standing he has. But again, a brilliant player that I think is ready to make the step up to play in a league that's probably a higher level. Again, for a club that's, no offence to Karabakh, but Rangers are obviously a bigger club playing in front of 50,000 fans every other week, potentially playing the Champions League. It'd be really interesting to see if he could make the step up to that level. I think he has all the qualities to be able to do that. At 27 as well, and he's prime, it'd be interesting to see how he steps up to the next level. So I think looking for a starting striker, if you're looking to spend a bit less, so you'd obviously want, if Danilo ended up going, if he didn't keep Dessers, if you're looking for someone to come in and absolutely challenge for that starting spot, I think Janino Vieira is a brilliant option. The last player I'm going to look at is someone I've actually noticed who was called out by our friends over at This Is Mappa. They done a player profile on him. So Enzo Cabrera, 24-year-old Argentine, he's 5'9", plays for Ethnikos, currently on loan from Newell's Old Boys. Before I even talk into his stats, I've watched the footage, listened to This Is Mappa's words about him. He's very Morelos-like in the dogged determination and the disciplinary issues. Not so much disciplinary issues. I think he's had about 7 yellow cards this season, so he does get himself in a bit of bother. Is very good at what you could call the dark arts. But let's look into his stats anyway. 36 appearances this season, 32 from the start. He's got 18 goals and 4 assists, 169 minutes per goal, 0.5 goals per game with 20% conversion rate, 0.5 chances created per game, 61% dribble success, and again, low dual rate number. It's also listed as a weakness as well. I'm not sure how accurate these numbers are from SofaScore in terms of the duels, because for all 5 strikers they do seem really low. But it's obviously listed his strength as anchor playing aerial duels. He does put himself about. He does use his body really well. He's only 5'9", but he's strong. He's very dogged when he's up there. He presses well. He makes defenders make mistakes. like I say, puts himself about, gets himself in good positions, and he is a good finisher. 20% conversion rate is really good, despite some people think I've had a few conversations on Twitter recently that people think that 1 in 5's a terrible conversion rate when you look at someone like Erling Haaland, top scorer in the EPL this season, has 22% conversion rate. And obviously, top scorer in the Scottish Premiership, Lawrence Shankland, has 18% conversion rate. So 20% is actually a very good conversion rate. Whether he could translate that to the Scottish game, I'm not so sure. He's done really well in Malta, done really well in Cyprus. It looks like he might want to stay in Europe and not go back to Argentina or stay in South America. But interesting to see where he ends up next. But I know there is interest from some of the bigger clubs in Cyprus. I know Stella has spoken to a few people about him on Twitter today, just because of how good these numbers look. The type of player is, if you watch the footage, you'll see what I mean by Morelos. Like, and it's obviously something that fans would love, given how much we as a club loved Alfredo Morelos. So it'll be interesting to see where Cabrera ends up. Again, probably not coming in as the main starting striker unless he obviously hits form when he comes in straight away. He'd probably be bought in as a backup striker, but I think he's got the capabilities to be striker at a very good level. I think he could perform in Europe. Not sure if you're stepping up to the level with this Champions League if you're talking about the Europa League striker. Again, I think for the price you could potentially be looking at, I think it's another brilliant option. There are strikers out there, like I say, I've covered 5 strikers today. There's so many more strikers I could cover, and every one of these strikers has been rated, obviously through transfer market. It doesn't mean we'd be able to get them for that, but they've been valued at under 1 million. I'm going to kind of jump up price ranges a little bit. I think the next video we'll do, maybe look at strikers who are valued again from transfer market from 1 million to 2.5 million, kind of see what we can find in that range and see where we go from there. But that has been 5 strikers that I think would be absolute bargains, and they've all been valued under 1 million by transfer markets. Please leave your thoughts down below. Let me know what you think of these players. If you think that they could come in and do a job at Rangers, or if you think they're maybe a level below what we should be looking at. I'd be really interested to hear your thoughts. Throw other players at me, let me look at other players, and give me some suggestions on videos for to do next, what positions to look at, what players to look at, what kind of regions or price brackets. I'll be really interested to know what everyone wants to see over the summer. We'll obviously be providing lots of content, so I want to know what you want to see and hope to provide that. But again, if you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe and have a great day.